Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at audibletrial.com/Wampaslayer. Over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, and more. That's audibletrial.com/Wampaslayer. Welcome, everybody, to this week's edition, episode number 46 of the Wampaslayer podcast. My name is Kris.
I'm Dave.
And that's it, actually.
That's all there is.
And, it's the skeleton crew today. But, you know, we're still gonna talk some good stuff. Not a lot to talk about. But having said that, let's get into some trending topics.
Oh, we watched The Mummy last week. And it wasn't very good. That's the official review.
Anyways, let's see. Let's start with the Psych movie. Zachary Levi has been cast as the villain of the Psych movie.
Now, is he a character from the show?
No.
Oh, okay.
It was a fan service that they wanted to get Zachary Levi on the show.
Oh, okay.
And they just never did. And so he is the villain. And I think that Chuck, you know,
right,
as the villain could be cool.
I won't lie, I never saw Psych. I wanted to see Psych, and I guess I still can. But I do like Dule Hill.
Yes. But you watch The West Wing.
That's why I like Dule Hill.
And you know, I saw a clickbait article this week, and I read it, and it was, why is Hollywood not casting James Roday, who was the lead in Psych?
Oh, okay.
And, like, it was the dumbest article I've ever read. Oh, he's directing more, and he just doesn't want to do parts. He doesn't want to act much anymore. It's not that big of a deal. But they had to write an article about it.
Well, you know, you gotta get those clicks going.
Michael Bay has said that he is not coming back for Transformers 6. He says he's too exhausted from the Transformers films.
I mean, they are exhausting films to watch. I'm sure to make. This was so they had said a long time ago that after 3, he wasn't going to be involved anymore.
Right.
And that turned out to be untrue. And I know the guy who, the voice of Optimus, who of course has been the voice of Optimus for the past 40 years, has defended him, like that he loved Michael Bay and loved what he does with the movies.
Oh, he loved just sitting in a studio.
I think he loves getting paid for it, but
yeah.
But yeah, that's what I was wondering, if this one was another one of those, Michael Bay's not doing these anymore, but I guess Michael Bay himself has said that he's not doing it anymore.
Yes.
So that's a little bit more of
This is straight from Michael Bay.
That could be good. I mean, we're saying this the week that 5 comes out. So This comes out Friday, Thursday night, whatever. And I will see it because I've seen every other movie in the theaters. They've gotten progressively worse. The third one kind of peaked up a little bit. But
I was going to say, I heard the third one is very good.
2 and 4 were terrible. 1 was great, of course, because of what it was.
And that's the thing, is if they didn't take themselves as seriously, they would be fine. Which Transformers 1 was fine. Mm-hmm. It was just robots fighting, and that's about it, and hot girls.
And I think, and 3 replaced Megan Fox. Mm-hmm. So that was a step in the right direction. Sorry, Megan Fox, but
and then 4 replaced Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, and not necessarily that we didn't need Shia LaBeouf, but Mark Wahlberg didn't do the movie any favors. The movie was bad. It was really 2 was bad, 4 was really bad.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I feel like Mark Wahlberg does this on purpose. Like, he takes movies off.
Yeah.
Because this guy is a frickin'... he was in The Departed. Mm-hmm. I don't know if he was nominated for that, but in The Departed, he is fantastic. And he's great in comedy films. Yeah. And
I think Mark Wahlberg is good, but he feels like one of those people that's like a director's actor. Like, it depends on who's behind the wheel.
Right. Like he'll do whatever you
Exactly.
whatever.
So
you
I mean,
tell him to do.
poor writing, he delivers, and you're like, this guy's kind of a meathead. Good lines, with some good energy, comedy or whatever, comedy or drama or anything like that. You're like, all right, I can get behind this guy. He just kind of he takes a lot of work. I'm gonna assume. I don't know. Maybe The Happening, he was just asleep the entire time, but.
HBO will not be sending out any screener copies to critics for season 7. This is unprecedented.
Of Game of Thrones.
Of Game of Thrones. I said that, right?
I didn't hear, but you might have.
Maybe I didn't. Maybe you're listening to this, so
It's
I don't know. So critics will not be able to watch Game of Thrones until everybody watches it Sunday night.
Which I like.
Yes, that's fine.
I mean, as a podcast and media website, I would love to get critic screenings of things and whatever you want to send us. But I mean, and we always pick on Nerdist. That's because that's the number one place that I usually look, and because the more you click on their stuff, the more stuff of theirs you get.
So click on Wampaslayer.
Yeah, or even Screen Rant or anything like that. They have got a detailed article about what happened in that episode. And they release it like 3-5 minutes later, like after the episode is done. And you're trying to talk about, first of all, they try to hide the spoiler, but they can't really do it well because if you don't include it in the title, nobody's going to look at it. Facebook is going to show you the first two random comments anyways, which are going to spoil the thing. And I'm like, if you want to post something, that's your job. I understand that. But not 5 minutes after. So now if they have to watch the movie, write an article, then you're going to get it that night next morning.
Yeah.
Which to me is a much better time.
Should we mention the spoiler news of Game of Thrones?
We can.
So this week, Jon Snow's name was revealed.
Yeah.
Real name.
Yeah, Jon Snow's name given to him by his mother.
Correct.
Which, if you don't know who his mother is, season 6 spoilers.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll give you a listen. It's Jaehaerys Targaryen.
Jaehaerys.
Yeah, which is a name after, and the Mike is our resident Game of Thrones expert, so I'm not going to get it all right, but he was named after one of the original Targaryen conquering kings, who was also a dragon rider and all this kind of stuff. We talked about how it was a spoiler. It's not really a spoiler. This is just more backstory information on the character.
Yeah.
Because Daenerys isn't going to know that. Daenerys doesn't even know Jon Snow exists.
Right.
So it's not like we're going to see, unless we get more flashback stuff, I don't think we're going to really see too much about that his history other than what we've seen, which was the Tower of Joy.
And what, like, I just, it's so crazy that the most prevalent fan theory was true.
It's true.
That was shocking.
I didn't read the books, but I won't lie, the idea of it wasn't crazy.
No.
Like watching the movies, maybe it was a little bit more hidden in the books, but I'm like, okay, this makes a lot more sense because you're focusing on this guy who you don't know who his mother is, and Sean Bean doesn't want to talk about it. I'm like, well, it's got to be important. But
did you see this video this week of the dodgeball cast reunited?
I saw, and I kept meaning to click on it, and I never clicked on it.
So it was.
I saw Ben Stiller dressed up.
Yes, it was Ben Stiller. Who played the woman, Fran? The I can't remember what her name was. But the most dangerous woman with a dodgeball.
Oh,
Michelle and Blazer.
Yeah.
And on the other side, it was Vince Vaughn, Marsha Brady.
Who they have divorced now, by the way.
I didn't know that until I was reading some comments.
Yeah, it was. Well, it's recent. Like, or at least when I saw the article, it was like beginning of the year, maybe like 2-3 months ago, that it was announced that them two had split up.
And then Justin Long for the Average Joes. But the point of the video is you can play dodgeball with the cast of Dodgeball. And all you have to do, go to omaze.com/averagejoes or omaze.com/globogym. And the point of Omaze is to donate to a charity,
right,
and you get entered into a contest.
Star Wars did the visit the set, kind of.
Jon Stewart did one, be on the Daily Show. So you're donating to the Ben Stiller Foundation, which is support children around the world by providing educational opportunities So, building schools and things like that.
Right.
$10 gets you 100 entries into the contest. $25 gets you 250 entries and a digital thank you card from White Goodman. $50 gets you 500 entries and either Average Joe's or Globo Gym sweatbands.
Nice.
1,000 entries gets you, or $100 gets you 1,000 entries and a T-shirt, Average Joe's or Globo Gym. 140 gets you a T-shirt and sweatbands. 1,400 entries, and for $1,000 you can get 10,000 entries and a signed dodgeball DVD.
Nice.
For $15,000, $1,500, excuse me, 15,000 entries and a dodgeball signed by Ben Stiller.
Nice.
$2,500 gets you a signed script and entries. $3,500 gets you 35,000 entries and a signed by Ben Stiller picture of White Goodman grabbing the bull by the horns.
Nice. But that happened though.
It's a metaphor, but that really happened. It's sold out now, but I'm guessing for another $3,500 you would get a White Goodman wig and mustache.
Nice.
From the original film, so props. Once again, sold out. $3,500 got you a White Goodman costume.
Interesting.
Okay, this is weird. For once again, sold out. 50,000 entries and a Average Joe's Soleil bike, or Purple Cobra's bike. $5,000 for a signed skateboard, which has nothing to do with.
At a certain point, they're just trying to fill out those entries.
But yeah, so donate money to the Ben Stiller Foundation, and you will be entered to play dodgeball with the cast of Dodgeball.
Pretty cool.
As a former collegiate dodgeball player, this would be the dream.
You did play college dodgeball. You ran a college dodgeball team.
I did. Into the ground.
How old is that movie? That's what I'm trying to find out.
2003, or no, 2005.
Because there's these hints of dodgeball too. But 2004. Split the difference. But yeah, I think some of these movies have that crazy staying power.
Well, I was just thinking about this, and maybe an editorial article might be coming out of that's got to be like the greatest era of comedy.
Yeah, I mean, outside of that was I'd say better to say that was the last great era of comedy, because then before that you had however you feel about the Adam Sandler stuff.
Well, no, old Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Old Adam Sandler through Click.
Yeah.
Was fine. So
Click was a depressing movie.
I liked it. Click.
It was just really sad.
Yeah.
And then you go back to the Black Sheep and Tommy Boy era, stuff like that.
When SNL cast members were getting their own movies.
Yeah.
Wayne's World.
Yeah.
Tommy Boy.
So yeah, we go through this so we're due for another one. Which I think we're doing okay now, but I don't know that any movie out right now. I think keep trying to do too many real life situations. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Nobody's making insanity movies anymore. Like Dodgeball with the ridiculous people and all that stuff.
Anchorman, which
Anchorman was that's same time.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's part of Anchorman, Wedding Crashers, 50 First Dates, Adam Sandler movies.
I think
Dodgeball.
It's their creators. Like I watched, we could be coming up on that, but I watched, Oh Hello on Broadway, the Netflix recorded special of John Mulaney and Nick Kroll.
Oh yeah,
their Broadway show.
Yeah,
which was hilarious. But John Mulaney is doing a lot of writing.
Yes,
and he's developing a lot of really good stustuff.
Unfortunately, his show didn't last.
He had a show.
He had a TV show on Fox.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It got canceled. It was called Mulaney.
That's sad. Oh, yeah, you're right.
He left SNL as head writer to go do his own show.
And it was just another weird sitcom. But, yeah, the other stuff that he's doing is really good. So he's
going to be in Detroit in September.
Nice.
And I want to go.
But, yeah, we could be on another verge of that with Aziz Ansari. And as long as he wants to just make a funny movie and stop making poignant
TV shows.
Now
we're going to get more in-depth in E3, but before we do that, I want to talk about Wolfenstein 2. Sequel to Wolfenstein, great game. Set in World War II.
The greatest.
Set in World War II. And because it's World War II, you're fighting Nazis.
Well, not only that I guess I haven't read anything about the new Wolfenstein game.
Yeah.
But the old Wolfenstein game was Nazis and the occult.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they're creating monsters.
Yeah.
So it is a highly fictional take on real life.
Right. But it's not you as an American fighting the German soldiers. It's you fighting these monsters that are the Nazis.
Yes. And then I think you end the game by killing Hitler.
You do, yeah.
Yeah.
Hitler, he's in a big suit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mecha Hitler.
Hard to even find that level because you had to keep going around the things.
But there has been some outrage about Wolfenstein 2. Some people aren't happy about that. Modern day Nazis
are not happy with it
and some of the comments are such that, well, you know, what if we made a video game about killing your political enemies? I go, I'm sorry, my political beliefs didn't create chaos in the 40s.
Yeah, it's just
and the 30s.
I won't lie, like recent World War II depictions have definitely changed or evolved how they show the Nazis.
Mm-hmm.
Like they usually will portray a Nazi general as the evil, but the people working for him either don't talk or they don't do anything, or they know to run when something's coming at them.
Yeah,
like it's not Saving Private Ryan where they made the guy dig his own ditch and all that or dig his own grave and all that, like it used to be.
Yeah.
So I can see how this would be a shocking change from the current trend. But you're still Nazis. Wampaslayer.com doesn't take a lot of political stance, but I think we're anti-Nazi.
I think we can say that.
We'll put that on record.
I think we can say that we're anti-Nazis, and so they're calling the game makers snowflakes, and how dare they?
Just ridiculous.
How dare they depict? They are killing my culture. This is my culture, and I got to watch them kill it.
Yeah. Don't play the game. Or don't be Nazis. That's really, I think.
I think it's don't
core.
be Nazis. That's the main point. For you, the listener of the Wampaslayer podcast, we are offering you a 30-day free trial and a free audiobook download. All you have to do is go to audibletrial.com/Wampaslayer. This past Sunday, it was the American Gods season finale.
I watched season 1, or I watched episode 1,
and then got stars to watch it.
Yeah, I still have stars too,
and you're not watching it.
I need to just sit down this week and do that.
But if you don't want to watch it, you can listen to the book at audibletrial.com/Wampaslayer. It's easy to use and over 180,000 titles to choose from. Just go to audibletrial.com/Wampaslayer for your free audiobook and 30-day free trial. What are you looking for?
I was looking for a pen, but you're okay.
So our main discussion topic now for the week is E3 again. Because last week we weren't able to talk about a lot because a lot of stuff hadn't happened yet.
That's me.
Oh, Dave.
Don't worry about it. Actually, it's Sean. It's Boom Squad.
Oh my goodness.
So I think we should bring it up.
We're not bringing it up. So we're going to talk about some of the major games that we saw because other than the Xbox One X, there was no system news. Let's start with Super Mario Odyssey. It's going to be the new Mario platformer. Is that a platformer? RPG? I don't know.
They said it was going to have RPG elements.
Or it's not RPG. It's platformer. What is Super Mario 64? Would that be a platformer?
I guess that's a 3D platformer. Yeah, it was still technically a platformer.
Where Mario is going through and let me guess, you got to save Princess Peach.
Well,
Not that I'm, downplaying Mario games. They're fantastic.
Yeah.
But you have the ability to take control of your enemies. All you do is Mario takes off his hat and throws it, and now he's a Koopa. And it may be the weirdest thing in the world, but now this Koopa's got a Mario hat and it's Mario. And the trailer for it was super weird because he throws it on another human person and just takes control of that human person.
Yeah. I mean, Mario games have been. Sorry, modern Mario games have been I think somewhat hit or miss as far as like reception. Super Mario Galaxy's really, really good. Look at Super Mario Sunshine before that. Not that great. Super Mario Run on the, going to be lauded as the greatest mobile game.
Super Mario Galaxy was a lot of fun.
Yeah, Galaxy was great. So this could be this. I mean, I'm sure this is gonna be really great. I have been really impressed with the Switch. I don't have one, but the guy at our work has one, and we have. It is just so much fun when we're like really dead, and he can just hand me the other piece, and we play Mario Kart.
Yeah.
So I would be really excited with how it can look. I know that was the big issue is that when something comes out for the Wii. It wasn't. It was like, oh yeah, it's coming out for the Wii.
Yeah,
but for the Switch, I feel like it's got a lot of potential.
It was. The Wii was very. I wouldn't say poorly marketed because you couldn't get one.
No, I mean the Wii was fine. It just was when they tried to. The Wii was fine if you were using it as a motion thing. When they tried to bring out just normal games for it, and you're plugging your GameCube controller into it to play, I'm like, why? This is weird. And of course, the outputs weren't really nice, and the power of the machine wasn't great. So if you weren't using it for tennis or dancing or whatever, you were using the crappy version of the consoles that were out.
And that gimmick left fast.
It did. Now they're trying to change it into VR, which I have to say, all of the E3 VR stuff, it makes me want to. It's so expensive. Is the only thing that stops me. If they drop that down to $300, I'd do it. $500 is way too much.
Really.
Yeah, but I mean, Skyrim 360 or Skyrim VR looks amazing. Even that Battlefront, which is a little bit older, looks amazing. The Batman, the Arkham looks so good. I would do that. I mean, you can't play for like longer than an hour, but hurt yourself.
And speaking of Skyrim, Bethesda was very bleh in for E3.
They release a gigantic, groundbreaking game every like 7 years, and they just did one last year.
And they just keep re-releasing Skyrim.
Yeah, there was no Elder Scrolls 6 news.
Over and over and over and over and over.
Not that there's going to be an Elder Scrolls 6, but
no, why?
We want Elder Scrolls 6.
No, you don't.
I don't want ESO. Just give me another Elder Scrolls game.
No, you want Skyrim.
Well, I mean, I want Skyrim in another part of the world with updated graphics and updated capabilities.
Now, did you look up the paid mods?
Yeah, the Creative Club.
Yes.
So, this was a backlash thing that we saw immediately. Was Bethesda is so if you didn't pay attention to what it was, or if you don't really pay attention to the modding community, if you download like 3 or 4 mods and then you don't really care after that point, then this probably sounds really bad. So what they said was they are taking developers and they are going to create a studio where you could pay or you buy credits and then you spend those credits on mods. And it sounds a lot like the Steam Workshop, which was a huge failure. People were uploading other people's mods and getting paid. Steam was getting 40% of the revenue. Bethesda got 40%, and then the developer got 20%. Like, it was crazy and terrible. Mm-hmm. This new is not going to be like this. What they have done is they are taking developers that have proven to do some really amazing things. And trust me, there are amazing things being done in the modding community for Fallout and for Skyrim.
Because that's all you do now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even think about it though. 2011 is when that game came out.
Yeah.
This is still popular enough that people are buying it in droves in 2017. But yeah, they're taking developers and they're allowing them to work with Bethesda to create something that is integrated fully into the game. So this is released alongside they said without bugs, which is hilarious because Bethesda doesn't do anything without bugs. But all this, they're not taking away free mods. The Nexus will still exist for free. But if you think about, I mean, you don't know Train Wiz's mods, but if you think about Train Wiz's mods, how amazingly detailed it is, how great would it be? So if you really like, this follower, or we'll say a quest mod, they've created this really cool dungeon, you downloaded it, and you go through it. It's the most amazing thing you thought of. And then you say, okay, that developer is now getting access to all of Bethesda's tools, to their source, to all this stuff, working directly with their game designers. And now for $10, $20, you can get an expanded quest line that goes all over the thing with a bunch of new dungeons. And if you say, I don't want to pay for that, that dungeon still exists as a mod. You can still download it and install it for free.
Yeah.
You just won't get this premium version. So they're not taking anything away. I think these mod developers who do amazing work should get, something for their thing other than people clicking the donate on the Nexus.
Yeah.
So I think this is a good thing.
Let's go back to the Switch. 2 new Metroid games are coming out. That was there was no video of it, just talking about Metroid Prime 4. I don't know about the second one, and then Pokemon Switch RPG.
Interesting.
So that could be fun.
When was the last Metroid game the GameCube one?
No,
or was there one in between?
I think there was a Wii one.
Oh,
or
the
Wii.
GameCube one was really good.
Yes, Metroid Prime.
Yeah.
1.
So that's really cool.
Detroit Become Human looks like a real fun game, and it'll be nice, being from Detroit, that
Right.
you know how to navigate the streets. I'm playing this game right now, but they're coming out with a prequel with Life is Strange. It's a free game on that
was what you were playing.
Yeah,
okay.
Life is Strange is free on PlayStation Plus right now for this month. So Dave, download it.
Probably will.
And the prequel comes out at the end of August. Spiderman gameplay video
That Spider-Man though
looks real nice. They got Mr. Negative as the villain.
Yep.
I'm actually pretty excited for that because
the game looks beautiful. It looks like it plays like Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was Spider-Man 2, wasn't it? Was the big open world one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
or Ultimate Spider-Man
GTA as Spider-Man.
when every game was GTA.
Yeah.
Like Evan was talking about
the Jaws GTA. We should hold that up this week because he's got it over there and it looked hilarious.
And Destiny 2.
What?
Very excited for Destiny 2. A lot of great features coming out. I don't have a full list, but it is a huge
That in-game clan system, the fact that the way the hero systems are going to work to build your abilities is not, hey, if you'd like, you've got the golden gun, but if you want to be a Night Stalker, you can spend 3 weeks trying to build up to get that stupid jump. So they're just streamlining that stuff. That story trailer for it was so good when they showed them trying to take the Traveler.
I'm super excited for it. We have 10 people probably going to be playing, and 6-person raids are gonna get rough. And then there will be nights where we can't get 2 people together for a raid. But I'm very excited for Destiny 2. But I think Spider-Man is my go-to.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's multiplayer versus single player too. So,
but that's actually it for our E3 recap.
yeah, the only other thing I'd bring up was the gameplay trailer for Battlefront 2 on Battlefront Watch, Wampaslayer.com.
As much as I don't like it.
Yeah, we don't want to play this game, but they keep teasing us. However, it was at least not confirmed, but very heavily implied Galactic Conquest will not be part of the game because they haven't shown. They've shown us just about every single piece of that game, and that is not there.
Call of Duty,
the World War II trailer
War
was
II.
cool. I mean, it was more cinematic than anything, but it was World at War, updated graphics,
which
I'm fine with.
I'm surprised that they didn't do what they did with last year's and put World at War with World War II.
It's true.
But that's going to be it. Every week we like to close out the show with a nerd question. And Dave, I only briefly mentioned this one, and so what was your first cell phone?
Jeez.
Or what was your favorite cell phone from your teenage years?
Well, my first cell phone, I don't remember the brand, but it was silver and it had a black and green screen. It didn't do anything but make calls because you couldn't text because you had to pay extra for that.
Yep. 45 cents a text message.
Yeah, it was crazy, something like that. Then we got an LG flip phone that had a camera on it.
Oh.
And that was kind of cool. And it had a color screen. I guess if you so the very first cell phone I bought myself, let's do that, was the Droid. I think it was the Droid, the Motorola Droid, like the first one that they came out with.
Yeah.
I mean, this thing had I'm sure that at this time, I'm in my head, it was like a 6-inch screen. I'm sure it was like a 4-inch screen.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure my iPhone's bigger than it was. But man, I saw that. They had this really cool, because this was the, advent of Android too. Like Android was not part of the market. And it had, I could see, like, you can set a background that was a video. That was amazing. And just all the crazy things. It had an HDMI output port that you can hook to the TV. I think I bought that thing and used it once, but still, it could do all that kind of stuff. Yeah, the Droid was the coolest thing. I've long since abandoned Android.
Android.
Yep, the Droid.
My first phone was a Nokia. It was. Was that the first one? Because I had I think I had the brick Nokia.
The 2125.
Yeah. And
indestructible.
And then I got a smaller Nokia, and I really like that phone.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I learned T9 and speedy text.
Hey, they've come out with it again. I think it's AT&T only, but they've come out with a Nokia. Did the 6160? I think it was what they remade it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So today, you can go get a little brick phone.
That's good for like kids.
Yeah, I think that's good for. I mean, having sold cell phones to some people, I think that's an option that some people need.
Yeah,
Android and even iPhone are too much for some people.
But funny enough, the phones that I absolutely loved, I never had. I loved the Razr.
I had the Razr. I had 2 Razrs.
Never got a Razr. I loved the LG Chocolate. That I didn't have Verizon. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, but I got a similar phone from AT&T, and that, oh my goodness, I loved it.
I still have people who come in asking, do you have any phones with like a slide out or pull up keyboard? And I'm going, I don't have any phones with a keyboard on it.
And then I had this phone that was probably half the size of my iPhone, and then it was a slide out keyboard. And it popped up, and I had my own little keyboard. But
nice.
Every time it was the size of a calculator.
Right.
So I'm like, now it's not
right.
It doesn't work anymore because that's how big my phone is.
Right.
And I remember I also had the Galaxy Note, the Note 1, and people made fun of me so hard for having a phone that big.
I had the Galaxy Mega, 6-inch screen. Oh man, Netflix
it was gigantic.
Beautiful on it.
I also wanted a Sidekick.
Oh yeah, the T-Mobile.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Never got one of those because that was like the hippest thing. So you flip the screen.
Yep.
Oh man, there was one more. And I always wanted a Droid.
Oh yeah,
a Droid X, but I wasn't on Verizon.
Yeah.
All right, now that's gonna do it for us here at the Wampaslayer podcast. Follow us on Twitter. Follow Dave on Twitter at. Follow Dave on Twitter at.
Yeah, you can follow Dave on Twitter at TheAlien512. There's some music for you.
Follow me on Twitter at AceRate4. Follow all of us on Twitter at Wampa Media. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Wampaslayer. Tell your friends. Tell us that you're listening. Thank you guys for listening. Oh, and follow us on Instagram.
Mm-hmm. At Wampaslayer.
At Wampaslayer. Post pictures of our everyday life.
Hashtag it.
Hashtag Wampaslayer. And just up right now, there's pictures of our set, of our party this weekend. I got a little out of hand, but it's all in good fun. Thank you guys for listening. We'll be back next week. Make sure you check out the live video on our Facebook every Sunday night, 8 o'clock.